Thank you so much for that kind introduction. These picket lines are getting bigger and bigger, and rightly so. I come here in solidarity. It's so important that we do not allow their tactics of divide and rule to succeed. They are masters at it. I'm on the doorsteps every day because we're just less than 3 weeks away from a general election, and it never ceases to surprise me how the rich elites persuade those people whose very interests they are against to vote against their own interests, because they use divide and rule. And the way they have cynically tried to divide students and academics is just another example. And so I'm here to say, well done, thank you for everybody who has decided they are not going to allow that rhetoric, that action to divide the solidarity that we have seen here to date, which has been almost unprecedented. Different unions, different sectors coming together, and that's what they really fear. And it's so important that you win here, guys. Birmingham Uni is a vanguard. They have absolutely no excuses for their low pay, for their unequal pay, for their unfair pension schemes. This university is awash with money. They can't even use the austerity line. This is about how they want the country run, how they want the university sector run, and that's why it's important you win. So keep going. The money is there. This is about principle. This is about their ideology of the few against the needs, the rightful, reasonable needs of the many. It's heartbreaking. I talk to cleaners here who say to me, Salma, I love my job. I'm proud of what I do. I not only clean these floors, I talk to students, I'm an ear for them, and I'm proud that my contribution is helping to make this place run. That's stuff that we should be proud of. And instead, they're being treated in the most undignified, inhumane manner. How can people be expected to give their best when even after working long shifts, often 2-3 jobs, they can't provide secure roof over the heads of their own families? When we have people having to resort to food banks. And yet we have a situation where David Eastwood is on over £500,000 a year, and he comes up with a pitiful £1 an hour rise for the lowest paid. No, it's not good enough. And for an academic institution to be championing the curtailment, the censorship of the freedom of speech and the freedom to assemble is beyond disgraceful. One of the things this country is generally good at is putting on a good face to other countries, to talk about democracy, to talk about human rights, to lecture others. And yet, at one of the so-called jewels in the crown of the education system, which is supposed to stand for freedom of thought, high, rigorous academia, it surely is about impartiality and weighing up arguments, and rests, of course, on the fundamental principle of freedom of thought, of freedom of speech, and freedom to assemble. And yet, just because people are asking for the most basic of rights, we are being told you can't assemble here. Your jobs are even more at risk if you dare to. And if you show solidarity, we will punish you. No. This is our university. This is our city. This is our country. And it can't run without us. It can't run without you. And it damn well can run without the likes of David Eastwood. And while I have your attention, I'll make no apologies for making a blatant election pitch. This election, I know they say at every election, but believe me, this election is not just once in a generation, it's a once in a many generation choice. We have a real alternative. For so many years, I've been disheartened that, it's Tory or Tory light. Not much of a choice. We have a historic choice. with Jeremy Corbyn as a leader of the Labour Party, with a manifesto which really is about the many and which is challenging the few. And that's why he's being demonised the way you are being demonised on the ground here. So let us not say on December the 13th that we didn't do everything we possibly could, because this battle that you have now will be over. The Labour government will bring in accredited living wage. The Labour government will bring in rock solid employment rights, so you don't have to stand here in the cold begging for them. This is what's gone wrong when we've had the union rights attacked year after year with the Tory governments and sadly with new Labour governments before that. So this is your chance, this is our chance. Let's do it for the next generation so we don't have to keep coming back having to fight for the most basic of rights. And so keep going. Your fight is a good one, it's a just one, it's a right one. Stick together and we will win. Thank you.